GM, friends. Hopefully you can hear me.
Hey,
Sir,
GM,
how you doing?
pretty good,
Pretty
pretty
good.
good. How about you?
I'm doing well. It's a good early Saturday morning for me. Also, someone remember to launch the Gotchi bot recording.
On it.
How has your Geist mainnet launch experience gone so far for you and the Pixelcraft team?
Pretty. I mean, all things considered, like pretty smooth. Uh, just been kind of watching the Explorer, seeing all the activity. I did notice that there's actually it seems to be a group of people like botting the inaugural mint, which is kind of funny. They're generating a lot of activity on the network. So it's actually a really good stress test for us in Alchemy. They're basically like slamming the network, just minting the piece over and over again for some reason. So the next one we do, we'll have some guardrails on. This one was kind of a free for all, but yeah, it's a good like taking a walk on the network, getting stretching its legs out, and it's kind of cool to watch it was kind of down for a little bit, and we pinged Block Scout and Alchemy, and they got right on top of it. So now we're all synced again. Looking at the gas fees so far, I think we've let's see where it was. I was looking at it earlier. It was like one or two ghosts so far has been used in gas, which is not a lot, but also there's been a lot of activity. So it is a very, very low fee chain. But
Yep.
if there's a lot of activity, that those low fees still can add up to some decent amounts of ghost.
Yeah, I bridged over like I think 0.25 ghosts just initially, and seeing the fee was like I forgot how many decibels in a one. I was like, oh man, this is so cheap.
Yeah, it's like 0.0000004 or something like that. I got some cool charts from Alchemy as well. They've just been they're really pro to work with. It is the weekend, so it is kind of weekend for them. But they came on immediately, and we're able to troubleshoot everything. So here's how much gas we've been using per second. You can see it starts spiking the moment we pretty much went live, and just keeps going up and up and up. So we only have like one mint going on the chain right now, and happy to see. I do believe that there's a lot of activity coming in. A lot of it is bots, but at the same time, kind of validates our point that we're building this chain so that we have a membership program, and people can only the members of the chain can get rewarded. So they can like spam and mint all they want to some extent, and it's actually good, but they're not like, I don't really know why they're doing it. I think they're just having fun, but taking the chain for a test drive. So yeah, it's been pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, the
We
reception has
never we've
been.
never made a chain before, so this is a big step for the Pixelcraft team. There's so much work that went into obviously the research. Just it's always like things changing so fast. At some point, we just earlier this year had to say, you know what, we're gonna stake things on. We think base is gonna be successful, and we think Arbitrum layer threes are gonna be successful. So just gonna pick it, and I'm sure there's gonna be new stuff that comes out. That is the life cycle of crypto, but the end of the day, if you're trying to ship product and ship new stuff, at some point you gotta make a decision. But very happy to be working with Alchemy on this, Super Pro, and partners at Arbitrum and Base. Really glad with like I'm just happy that base has done as about as well as we kind of expected to, making it really easy for people to onboard Ghost to the chain from base. Very nice plus. How's the bridging experience been for everyone so far? I know we don't have Polygon up. There's a little bit more complexity with Polygon because it's not the canonical bridge of the chain. We didn't want to make like Polygon the base bridge, so there's a little bit more setup that we're working on to get that done. But I think once it's done, it'll be pretty solid. But yeah, how's the bridging experience been from base? I heard some people were using Jumper to go from Polygon to base. How's that been? Nilla says bridging the Geist from base was super easy. Yeah, yeah. From if you're on base already, it's like that's why we chose base. One of the reasons that we chose base as the settlement layer, just because we knew like base is going to take off, and having that canonical bridge on base is pretty powerful because everyone's got money there. You can just easily swap some money on aerodrome or whatever and go over. But yeah, if you're going from Polygon, okay, going using Jumper, yeah, kind of expensive. Yeah. So the next bridge that we get from Polygon to Geist will be uh actually I'm curious what people think on this because we're coding it right now. We're thinking it would be cool to have no fee going from Polygon to Geist, but a very, very small fee, like 0.001%, like a tiny amount. Like basically you bridge over 1,000 ghost and it takes like a one ghost fee, like really small. But just, it's kind of an offboarding fee. If you want to leave the chain, there's like a tiny bit of slippage there. And that would be revenue for Pixelcraft, which would also get funneled back to the DAO as well. But I'm curious, what do you guys think of that? Is that anathema to people? I mean, it's going to be way cheaper than using Jumper. Yeah, but if you want to get like no fee whatsoever, you can always go back to base. You just couldn't go back to Polygon directly. We were actually thinking of doing a two-way fee, so onboarding and offboarding, but I don't know. I feel like that's kind of greedy. I'd rather just charge people for leaving the chain. Yeah. But of course, we don't want to do anything that, ends up making people not want to come on the chain because like, oh, they're going to charge me to get off. But it's not a big charge, and you don't have to pay it. It's only if you want to go back to Polygon. It'd be more for like the arbors, people that are just arbing back and forth between the decks on Geist and like quick swap, basically. But anyone have any strong opinions either way on that? Trax, I don't get what you mean. I mean, you'd make the money here anyway. What's that mean? Yeah. Yeah, it is a small amount. I mean, 0.001%. Like most swap fees take 0.03%. So we could I'm sure we could go a little bit higher if we think it's too low. There's obviously going to be a sweet spot. Don't want to be too greedy, but at the same time, it's like, hey, you're leaving our chain. You can go back to base for free, or if you're again, it's mainly for the people arbing. So it's just like a little extra fee that they're going to pay. Can't leave without paying the man. Yeah, just like America, little exit tax. It's arbor tax, really. Hotel California. Yep. So yeah, well, that's what we got so much that we're working on. It was we're just happy to get the chain live, and especially having Polter and now the mainnet. Team's feeling good. It's like we finally got it done, and now the real shipping can begin. We got Gotchi points that we're working on. We got obviously the Aavegotchi migration, getting the bazaar set up, the auction house set up. Like there's a ton of work for November planned. Just moving house basically. It's a it's a lengthy, arduous process. But by the end of the year, for sure, we're gonna have everything moved over, and and there'll be some new stuff as well, like lots of new stuff coming uh, between all the migration work. No future, are you there, sir?
Yep, yep. Sorry, just
Okay.
listening in. Yeah, in terms of like what do you feel like will be the first experience that we'll be able to like kind of do besides the mint on Geist? Because I know you have plans for all this
Yeah.
stuff. But what would be the first thing?
So the next thing on our list is getting Gotchi points, and that campaign basically started. So that's going to include being able to bridge your Alchemica over and your eventually your parcels as well, and being able to basically convert those into the Gotchi points. That'll be on the Alchemica side, and also Gotchiverse 3D is coming, and Gotchi Guardians as well. They're all and also working with Login. I know you've been chatting with Golden Cross, and we'll get Stratagachi and also Drops. We've been chatting with you guys a little bit. Basically, the launch of the Aavegotchi gaming console, which is the badge system, and uh, you'll be able to earn Gotchi points and earn part for that campaign by playing the games. So now there's like even more of an incentive to start getting in there and playing the games as a member, and you'll start earning Gotchi points, which will go towards the Gotchi token, which is gonna, in my mind, it's like the first kind of big token launch besides Ghost on the chain. So that's in one of the main experiences that the team is working on now. That's like the first reward campaign that'll be going live. I would say I think we're scheduled to go live around mid-November. Every team's working hard to meet that date, and that'll be going live. And there's also things like I know Golden Cross has been working on things like Gotchi Poker, and the Reckless game is you guys might have seen the preview from that. That's coming along really well. So also hoping to have that live very soon as part of the Aavegotchi gaming console experience, and then also open sourcing that SDK for people to use. Yeah, a lot of it was outlined in the blog post. If you guys have not seen that, definitely worth a read. Here it is. And yeah, once the Alchemica are on, we're also going to be onboarding Camelot, the decks, to get those liquidity pairs between like Ghost and the Alchemica onto the chain, so people can, if they want to go a little bit harder on the Alchemica burning side, they're free to do that. They don't have to go back and go to Polygon. So that'll be something that's probably going live this month as well. And just yeah, I'm working on a couple more experimental things as well that may turn into bigger things. Uh, don't want to say too much about them as well, but they'll also be members only experiences with yield built in. So I'm hoping to have that live this month as well. It's one of those projects that can start small but grow into something like very big over time if there is interest in it.
Quick question for the because I'm looking at the blog post now. The developer focus hackathons and game jams on Geist, and then also the launching of the Coinbase quest for Geist onboarding.
Yeah.
Do you have like a timeline on when either of
Yeah.
those will begin?
So the hackathons, I mean, our team's kind of at their full capacity right now, but I really want to do a hackathon. I would like to do it in November, but I'm not. We're gonna have to work with Alchemy and like Arbitrum and see if there's any interest on their side to do it. But that would be something I'd love to do in November. Once we now that the dust is kind of settled, we can start focusing on those experiences. The Coinbase quest, like I don't think it's something we're not going to do that until the all of the member programs are live and like the chain is a little bit further along, because that's a big opportunity for onboarding a ton of Coinbase smart wallet users. So I am like personally, I'm thinking that's going to be something we will do like mid to late January or February, like after the new year. And after all the migration is complete, basically we're settled and like ready to really start onboarding people. Same with the Galaxy Quest. Like there's no point in doing these fairly expensive user onboardings until kind of everything is kind of settled.
Yeah, users would have to. They need something to do right before they get over here, so that makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
In terms of the, I don't know if you can talk about this. Is very early, but just reading the article, the outreach to other teams building uh, products to come over to Geist. Do you have any that you can like talk about that you know plans for projects or other games outside of our ecosystem that might be coming over?
Uh, I mean, we haven't signed NDAs, but there's a lot of conversations happening right now. We met some quite big partners that are excited to work with Aavegotchi when we were in Japan and Korea. So we're following them up on those conversations. You know, whether or not we can, they have there's a lot of them are already doing their own thing, but we believe and they believe there's some room for cooperation between Aavegotchi and who they are. So not no none that we can like talk about publicly yet, but we are working on getting some like bigger partners to. They're not going to like deploy their whole ecosystem over here, but having some. It's all about interoperability and like cross chain experiences. So that's something. And then like really, I mean, it's more about we're we're not like we got to think about Aavegotchi is not exactly like we're not a top 100 like project that is attracting a huge amount of eyeballs still, and to like being realistic, there we're not going to attract like the biggest brands in the world. So my philosophy is our culture needs to be organic and kind of grassroots, and something that can attract new builders that are not necessarily established yet, to create new cool stuff that might not exist on other chains yet on Geist. That's like the type of people we want to attract.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Also, was today's the second? Is today the night of the Tokyo Game Night, or did that already happen?
I think it is. Yeah, I think I know Los Local has been cooking on that a lot. I believe it. I have to check the X account. Yeah, it was. If it's not today, it's definitely like today, yesterday, or today. And yeah, Zbot, exactly. Let's get into coding. Honestly, guys, like we can build almost whatever we want now. Like we got our chain, we got AI that's able to code at amazing speed and be like a companion coder. Anyone can build anything right now. Like the bar is getting lower and lower. It's a pretty exciting time. We got our own block space now, so let's do cool stuff for our chain that other chains don't have, and that is the moat. I mean, the only moat in crypto really is like it's kind of culture and what how people view your project. There's no real technical moats anymore. It's more about like culture.
Yeah, so true. I saw that there's an integration with AI for GitHub where you can basically use prompts to like deploy
Yeah.
mini dApps. And I was like, all right, I might have to start playing around here. I've looked into Cursor, I've downloaded it, but I'm just so new to all of this that I haven't really played around with it much. I've been more focused on video content. But yeah, the GitHub thing seems like a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, people are calling it the cursor killer. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, I mean, it's not like a total zero barrier to entry, but with a little bit of work, you can get pretty far these days. Way further than you could get a year ago.
Well, I just remember, like even a year ago, you and other members of the Pixelcraft team kind of doubling down on AI and saying, "Hey, everybody in this team is starting to
Yeah,
integrate AI into their processes." So it's like definitely was ahead of the curve as a as a project to do that. I think.
yeah. I'm constantly hounding the team whenever I'm in calls. I'm like, are you which like how are you using AI? Are you using it? Which one are you using? And we have like conversations about it. We weren't able to be totally ahead of the curve on like the AI agent stuff, but that's a fascinating topic. That is, it's a big meta, I think, and am reaching out to some people already to like talk about maybe let's get some AI agent stuff deployed on Geist now, and they can buy their own memberships. They can come into they can come into Discord and do like anyone else and pay for a membership. It's like we're not like anti AI, I'm more kind of anti people spinning up thousands of bots to like wreck a game. This is what we've seen. But an AI agent that gets the culture could be a little bit different. That's a very experimental area, though. Converting Gotchi battle game logic into Rust, so composable to WASM. Right, Rust is a fairly new language. Yeah, yeah. If you're on the cutting edge, maybe AI can't help as much.
See, we need a Gotchi.fun on Geist soon. That would be a lot of fun.
Well, that's like we're not like anti. I mean, we're very supportive of meme coins. I just think the in my mind, the time to do that is going to be when we're launching Gotchi token. Like that seems to be kind of a good time to get that culture really going. Uh, that's kind of what our internal plan is, anyway.
Hey
Yeah, that would
guys,
probably. Good morning.
Yo,
yo, did I hear some Geist fun? Yeah, we got some fun at Geist. But I agree, Dan. It's like not a yet thing. We're just started this migration, right? So let's wait till
yeah,
uh, we got to
I
do
think it'd be
basics
really
first.
cool to like cap off the first TGE and make Gotchi like the leader of all the different meme coins that will come out when we do launch like a pump fund or something of that nature on the chain. But ha- having it as like to having them go live simultaneously feels right. Hinga says, why not use Keck as a meme token? Thing about meme tokens is that people like look at the supply of it and they look at they actually don't like things to have like uh, a lot of overhang of supply. So although the names of the tokens are kind of meme-ish, turns out they're not meme tokens. So like trying to shoehorn a name like Keck into a meme token doesn't really work. Like it's got to be actually a meme, and it can't have it's generally like 100% fair launch or has some other like very transparent supply. that isn't overhanging. I mean, we designed the Alchemica to be utility tokens, not really meme tokens. So design is really important. But I mean, I feel like if we just launch a clone of a Pump Fund or an Ape Express, we always like to add a little of our own flair to things. So if anyone has any ideas on like something I'm thinking about, we don't just want to fork Pump Fun and put it on Geist next year, early next year. It should be something a little bit more interesting than that.
I just like Zbot's comment here. The curve is coming again. It's the return of the curve, new form. Maybe they've multiplied.
Yeah, bonding curves have really taken off in a way that that was like a breakout use case for bonding curves. Zbot says, in the long run, memes extract value. The good about memes are basically the stress test to the chain. That's a good point. I mean, the meme culture out there is, if you really look into it, it's quite extractive. It's not a lot of good actors are being outshadowed by the bad actors, especially on Solana. The cabal is real, guys.
I've been saying this about memes on Polygon and getting roasted and fighting with people. And it's like,
Fucking,
I'm not, this is
what
not,
was that meme that just came out? Alpha. That was like a serial scammer. Like I knew that. That was like so unorganic.
yeah, it's not good. And then like we saw with Pump.Fun, they've sold something like $180 million of Solana in fees that they've taken
Yeah.
in so far. So it's not, not great.
Not even. I mean, they made a product, but not even the pump fund team. Just like it's an industrial meme complex, like meme token complex, and it's very PvP. So like we can do it. It's just we know what kind of stuff that brings onto the chain. Uh, Personally, I kind of prefer the art side. Is I think why Golden Cross and I have kind of always leaned more towards art and like celebrating artists with like the fake gotchis rather than just having raffle token or saddle token. Like, they're fun, but at the end of the day, it's like they don't really lead to much.
Yeah, good shout out. Definitely crypto art with NFTs from the start have always been like a good match, and it's a little bit less PvP, a little bit less toxic than other areas of crypto. So yeah, always had a soft spot for crypto art. And I think there'll be room for a lot of it on Geist. I mean, we've talked a little bit about the migration and like where does fake gotchis fit on that. We want to make sure the creatives and collectors and energy on fakes also that culture is on Geist. And then it's a whole chain. So I wouldn't be surprised if some either fake gachi artists or just talented individuals come up with their own ideas around different types of like crypto art that they want to mint, and they want to mint it on Geist. I think that would be very, very welcome. So it's like with us, it's always been if you do art, you just do fake gotchis, but maybe there's a wider umbrella. I mean, Geist is a whole chain. So I want to see the Zora. I want to see the Rarible. I want to see the like first pressings, all those different types. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're
I'm very
gonna
interested in
work
fake
hard
gachi
to
artists, like opinions on the
um,
migration, but that's another
yeah,
topic.
we talked about last week, right? People, we want to get fake gotchis as is bridged over, so that won't be too difficult to do that. It's just another contract to move over, and then finish up the original fake gotchis mint, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. There's
But where
X
does
amount of
it go
content.
from there? I guess is uh, you know, kind of Golden Cross. You started the fake gotchis idea back in the day. Uh, we we are a chain, so it does make sense to have more creator tools. Like for example, the Geist milestone is actually kind of a Zora light that I wrote. It was
Mhm.
like it does. It's a ERC 1155 mentor, supports royalties, supports quite a few things. Not as robust as Zora, because Zora is crazy complex code base. But like yeah, in addition to fake gotchis, do people do we want to have that another way to mint crypto art as well on the chain?
Yeah, it kind of comes down to like you have to go through fake Gotchi cards for all types of anything remotely crypto art, digital art
Yeah,
related, or is it like no, those are for the fakes, like kind of like what Zbot's saying here, like those are the fakes are fakes. If you're lucky enough, you get to mint one of those,
right.
but there's still
And
some
then
sort of more open
onboard other
edition platform
platforms
too.
like we can, we'll reach out to, I don't know, some of these platforms probably charge their like integration, like I don't know how deep their integration fees and stuff are. Some of them might be for the culture and they deploy their contracts and call it a day. So it's a kind of case by case discussion with each of those different minting platforms. But like Zbot, if you guys have strong contacts at Manifold and we can show them that there's a demand, platforms like that, where they're welcome to come deploy. That's another cool way that we can just get the Geist culture out there. Some of these platforms add Geist. People say, "What is Geist? Never heard of that." And they come over and take a look, see what we're doing over here. Nice. So yeah, I
Zbot's
think
busy.
crypto art is a cool place, and we're also working on expanding the bazaar to make it more like an OpenSea or a Magic Eden, where it's more permissionless. Right now, it's always been it was like a very very early uh, Web3 marketplace, so it was kind of set up bespoke for Aavegotchi, but because now it's a kind of going to be the chain wide marketplace, at least for our stuff, and other any gaming and like other crypto art. We want it to be more permissionless and be more like a normal marketplace, while at the same time, like we don't want those trading fees to go to external partners. We want the trading fees to stay on the chain, go back to the holders. So, uh, we've had conversations with other marketplaces, and they always want a 2 or 3% trading fee go back to them, and we're like, well, no, we're not going to do that. So we're going to continue with the bazaar and just continue expanding that and making it better and better and more feature complete, and also more permissionless, so that people that do create art or create games on the chain will have a native marketplace, and will that yield will stay within Gotchigang. That's the intention anyway.
Yeah, that could be really cool once other outside projects onboard the Geist to build here to have their volume also added to our marketplace. That'd be really
Yeah,
cool.
permissionless marketplace, but would they still need invites? Who's they? To trade, you wouldn't need an invite. To deploy the contract, you currently, it is a permission chain in that sense. So you wouldn't be able to just come on and like deploy anything. But it's more in the sense of like for example, if we made an art gallery where you can create crypto art and you deploy something in there, it would appear on the bazaar as well. So you'd be able to go and trade it on the bazaar. Right now, we have to literally like manually add every new collection to the chain, and it's like because it was very bespoke for Aavegotchi. So over the last couple of years, we've kind of moved more to a streamlined approach, but it needs to be even further streamlined so that we can support all sorts of different collections on the chain. Yeah, I'm seeing people come in late with the daylight savings time. GM friends.
Oh yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah,
GM.
yeah, Thrax. It was Polygon was pretty grassroots back in 2021. It was us and wow, what was the name of that other? There was like I think Neon District was on Polygon. It was us and them, and I think like was it
Yeah.
Pegaxi or something, or Zed Run I think was on. There was
Yeah,
like
that good old Zed Run.
Is
Oh
that run
man,
still
Mark.
active?
I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised to hear Zed Run also having their own chain.
Sonia says otherwise. Yeah, I haven't heard about Zed for a while, but I think that's a
Zed's
quote
dead.
from a movie, right?
Right, that's from Pulp
Zed's
Fiction.
dead, baby.
Zed's dead.
Funny.
The meme writes itself. Funny.
Yeah, it just keeps going. It's a chopper. They can redeploy on Geist. Welcome
Yeah,
some.
yeah,
I
man.
bet Gotchas would love to bet on horse racing. That's the new
Ghost
twist.
horses. I think didn't they have a ghost horse or something?
Yeah, I think they always look pretty unnatural or like futuristic. But yeah, it'd be a great thing for our AI generated AI led gotchis to do with their free time. It's more betting, more sports betting.
Speaking of ghost skins,
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it here in our chat. But who here has gone and claimed? Has anyone here claimed this little guy yet?
Dude, I need to do this so bad.
Love how Ape 30 goes for it. Is that because you couldn't connect your wallet yet? Oh no! Wait, the MetaMask isn't working. Oh, it's on. It's your Geist ID is on your ledger. Ledger, man, that's it. Ledger and Unity and MetaMask. I don't know what's going on there. Kind of a mess. But we're going to be solving this very soon, where you'll be able to. We're going to encourage people to use the social login in the game, and then we're very close to doing the ecosystem wallet migration. So you'll log into the game with the social wallet, and you'll be able to link your a wallet that contains your Geist ID, because that's going to be in your ledger or whatever. And then you'll be able to, we'll basically recognize that your social wallet is your Geist membership. So it's not, it's finalizing some things with Third Web there, but it is very close to be able to do that. The shop is really nice. Made me Ape 30 ghost really fast. Nice. So a little background on this. This is if you're playing as the pirate in Gotchi Guardians, this is a limited edition. This is the first Gotchi Guardians limited edition skin, and it's available in the Gotchi Guardians shop from now, I believe, until the 14th. I think it is when it ends. And you can either buy it, or you can, if you're using the Geist ID, you can claim it for free. So after it ends, this will be listed in the bazaar. Once we deploy the bazaar on Geist, people will be able to trade this skin. This will be one of the first like tradable game skins that we put out. So yeah, I'm gonna spend my Sunday tomorrow getting that, and also finishing up all these Geist encounters. We're up to number 3 already. I want to talk about that in a sec. Material, when next Unity SDK update with the latest schematics? You mean the 3D wearables? Team is working on them as we speak, or well, they were last week. I don't know, Golden Cross. I think you've been following that a little bit. Are we getting close with those?
I gotta get a progress report on that. When we say like when is the next update, I think we have to have a meeting and decide. Like, there's still animation left to do, but we could drop
Okay.
some of the progress in here. I've definitely seen
Yeah.
Zbot approving a number of designs here recently. They're looking pretty
Yeah.
good.
Love to see at least a few.
Yeah, let me go grab a few. Yeah, team's cooking. Do, do, do.
While you're looking at that, I was putting together a little leaderboard, not live yet, but it will be soon, for our Polter testnet. See who's earned the most ghosts so far. Anyone here a Polter thousandaire yet? Or I guess millionaire? I don't think you can get a millionaire on Polter easily yet, but yeah, that the little faucet is working. It's quite nice. Ooh, granny glasses, very nice. Dude, those look fun. Those look fun in 3D. The little chain.
Yeah, the granny glasses are quickly becoming one of my favorites. Look great. Makes me want to read a book. We got
Yep.
some good skins coming, more 3D wearables coming. Everything's I don't know, there's a lot of content, I guess is one way to think about it. Like, we've finally got a surplus of really cool content to put out over the next many weeks and months, which is really, really cool to finally not feel like we're just trying to keep up or,
Yeah.
anything along those lines. There's just a lot that the team has made, including the blueprints. I see FaZe ask about the blueprints. That's for all the Licky's Escape players out there. You guys will be happy. Blueprints are also coming to Geist, and
Yep.
yeah, that'll be sick.
We gotta get the bazaar launched, and then we're gonna start adding all these new collections and I mean the amount of like tradable content is gonna explode within the next year on Geist. There's gonna be a lot more stuff to trade, more skins, blueprints, like 3D stuff. Like for Guardians, it's got different map skins and tower skins and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, no dearth of content.
Yeah, and just a good thing to call out that maybe is always worth repeating so everyone's aware, and that is if you're making like games like the DAO funded games or any third party game, um, not only are you like interoperable where like you can plug into the Geist gaming console, Aavegotchi game console, you can have your player profile, but you can also hook into our badges system And so you're able to give away badges to your games when Strategachi, when dropped, when these games come out, they'll be able to launch on Geist and have basically a budget of points that are allotted to their badges, and they can design, and each individual player can or game creator can um, deliver, you know, a ton of different tiered badges that come with different prizes, and technically you can even use the badge to deliver ERC20 tokens if you wanted, right? Like we aren't doing it right now, but there is a way to send was it Alchemica? We could
Yeah.
drop Alchemica via badges. So there's a lot of creative things you can do as a game maker to incorporate a badge and achievement system uh, that feeds into like the whole meta level player profile. So that's one side, and then the other side is with the bazaar, like you're saying, like it won't just be us anymore. Like had a brief conversation with Lag, and he seemed excited about the prospect that his game has certain game items and assets that he wants to probably draw up and do. He wanted to confirm those would be listable in the bazaar, and the answer is yes. Like if you're wondering, you create your assets as long as they're basically a standard 721 or 1155.
Yeah.
It's going to work fine. More than likely, I can't see any issues with the way it's built. So yeah, just like it's going to be content from PC, but the stage is set where like anybody can start creating and adding content to the chain.
Yep. And royalties are supported natively in the bazaar. We're not going to go like the OpenSea and like anti royalties. We want to support creators. So royalty support, locking support. If you want to make dynamic NFTs, we're also going to have that. That's because we built it for Aavegotchi. And yeah, if you're on the chain and you've been, you know, allow listed to deploy a game on the chain, uh, well, we would love to have more content to put in the bazaar.
Yeah, and I see Thrax's comment here in Zbots. Yeah, basically like game specific items are very welcome, right? It's easier than the super meta stuff. So if you have very specific items for your games, that's that's good news. We like that.
Noah says, "Can you say more about points? Will they be used for anything else?" So there's actually it's a little bit confusing, but there's going to be there's two types of points currently. There's the Aavegotchi gaming console points, which are like those are for your profile, and they just kind of show your progress as a player, and you know it's like leveling up your Steam profile. So those they do come with benefits and get you like cool titles and avatars and banners and stuff that just kind of let you flex. And then there's the other type, which is like more a little. It's more of a campaign, which is the Gotchi points. And Gotchi points are specifically for like you also earn them when you play the games by earning badges, but those are specifically for the upcoming Gotchi token TGE, which is going to be basically the first major TGE on Geist, and probably will also coincide with some sort of token, like kind of meme coin factory, basically. Those two will probably coincide with each other. So I think Gotchi. We're gonna try to make Gotchi a very exciting launch and bring some awareness to the chain through that as well. So there'll be two ways to get the Gotchi token. It's going to be by either converting existing Alchemica or by playing the Aavegotchi games that are part of the Aavegotchi gaming console. See, was there anything else I wanted to cover? Can we earn Gotchi points by building farming in the Gotchiverse? Golden Cross, I know you guys are cooking up some badges for the Gotchiverse.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll probably be some badges for things like building or farming.
Yeah, with the farm release, you can definitely expect some farming specific badges. So those badges would likely give you gotchi points. That's the cool thing. The badges can give you the profile points, but can also be part of this
Yeah,
gotchi points program. It'll give you spins, right?
yeah.
So you'll be able to use those to win more gotchi points. Um,
In our yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
did I say too much?
Oh no, no.
So,
I was gonna say in our next Geist encounter, I think
mm,
we're getting very close to having the wheel live, and I've been playing it with the team. It's like it's so fun, but it's so simple but so fun. So you'll when you play the games, you'll earn spins, which you can then use to earn the gotchi points. But the wheel, man, it's like it's just such a fun mechanic. Everyone loves a good wheel. And yes, you'll be able to earn gotchi points playing Stratagachi as well, as long as like login you and your team are able to integrate some of the back end stuff that we have, which isn't too big of a lift. We want ultimately like every game in Aavegotchi to be able to integrate into the Aavegotchi gaming console.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be super cool. So we basically have like budgeted it out. We know each game can have X amount of um, an allotment to give out gotchi points for X period of time. So yeah, it might be limited edition badges or some base badges. We can add more badges later, but Lagan Stratagachi should launch with being plugged into our achievement system, and that means also the gotchi points program. Lagan's just lobbing me an alley oop. Yeah, basically. Like, yes, yes, you absolutely can. So I feel like our back end, that's probably the most valuable, most difficult to build, recreate
Mhm.
thing that we've built over the last year and a half. Like we have to use it. This
Yeah,
achievement system. It's quite robust, and we'll try to use it at every opportunity we can. So you can take it a step further, and like with Stratagachi or any other game, um, when you going back to the other points, when you like level up your profile, like Dan was saying, when your profile hits a certain level, let's say level 10, you automatically get distributed some sort of prize. It might be like a sticker pack from Gotchi Guardians, or it might be like a customizable frame for your profile. A lot of it is profile customization type stuff, but every once in a while you'll get something that's more like an incentive to go try out that game. So you could,
hmm
Stratagachi could give away like a power up, some sort of super boost juice or something at level 15 of your profile. So even people that weren't playing Stratagachi, but their profile hit level 15, suddenly they get this like free, like, hey, we know you like to play games. Why don't you come play Stratagachi? We give you some tantalizing free assets. So it goes both ways. You can also think about what kind of content you want to distribute to players. And maybe the idea being some of them would be like, oh, cool, thanks for this cool voxel piece. I think I'm going to go try Stratagachi now.
yeah. And you can also that'll be for members. I mean, you can decide if you want to give it to anyone, you can. But we also have the primitive of the member that you can say, I want this to only go out to members that are supporting the chain, and like we're the only chain that pretty much has that feature. I think that's going to be a very cool thing for all game makers to explore. Is like, how do I get the attention of the members of the chain?
Yeah, that's a very good point. The memberships themselves are really our most unique selling point, or like it's not a selling point, but the most unique aspect of what we're trying to achieve here. So we got to use that more and more as well. And the way the badges work, if I'm not a member, but I spin up a profile, I play one of our Aavegotchi games for a couple hours, but I'm not a member, I still unlock badges. It's just when I get the badge, I literally am like leaving, valuable gifts on the table because I'm not going to be able to collect that cool frame or that tradable NFT or those Alchemica tokens or those spins for the Gotchi points. Like all that stuff is just for the members.
Yeah.
So maybe I missed this at the beginning because I came in 15 minutes in. I saw some chatter after like people are concerned about the memberships we're giving away. I don't think there's any room for concern or cause for concern, but I didn't know if we addressed it, Dan. Did you see some of
Not
that?
yet.
Yeah, just I think it's not a big deal, right? Like we can always only in the sense like it is a big deal, but I think the intent is this is the first of many airdrops in my head. I'm like,
Yeah.
it
I
just
mean, Gotchi
expect more.
holders are there's like we're gonna make sure that Gotchi holders are fine on the chain. But I mean, we actually did think about doing like a lifetime membership, but I don't know. Me personally, I feel like if things are airdropped as a lifetime thing, I think I think there's like human psychology is weird. I feel like I would value it less than if it's something I get on like a recurring basis for holding the asset. So you know, I think let's see how this first year goes, and like there's plenty of room to if we haven't done our part and people are not being rewarded for holding gotchis and getting the membership and doing activities on the chain, it's not like it's a few clicks of a button to say gotchi holders, here's your season 2 of your Geist membership. That's also not hard to do.
Yeah.
So let's just I'm more like, let's just see. We're going to try to execute on our vision over the next year and make Gotchigang eat. That's what we're trying to do here, and let's just see how that year goes.
Yeah, no sense to we're wary of locking into like super long-term mechanics when there is like a psychology or incentive aspect to like we're robbing ourselves of an announcement to recruit other people to buy Aavegotchis or become part of the Aavegotchi family if we can't announce it again a year from now because we only did it once at the very beginning when things were quiet, and we'll never be able to do it again kind of thing. So yeah, anyway, I hope people don't read too much into it. I saw some good friends a little upset, but the last thing we're trying to do is nickel and dime like a membership out a year from now. That's not the intent. So maybe misunderstanding. But all in all, just super positive that it's all functioning. I think our bigger worry, Dan, was like
Yeah.
everything's got to work, everything's got to run smooth. Let's make sure things are up and running. And we're just getting started with that. We've still got a lot of smart contracts to deploy, and a lot of them need to be modified before they're deployed. Right? When you talk about changes for the Bezar, we
Mm-hmm.
can't just like it doesn't happen magically. Like there has to be very
There's
careful.
a ton of work. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so much work that's gone into this chain. I'm very glad that AI is now able to basically 10x my coding speed. I'm able to like contribute so much more to this because I love coding, but it takes it can take a lot of time. But now with AI, I'm just like I'm able to 10x my coding output. We've been able to ship a lot in the last like couple months here, and excited to continue that speed. Like I'm in full shipping mode. We got our chain, and we're gonna make this chain amazing. So that's kind of the mode that we're in right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just like if I'm chilling and waiting for more things to go live and I want to be a part of this. If you've got an idea on like partners that would be a good fit and not cannibalize our own IP or experiences, we don't really have like a area to as a DAO. Like maybe that's a DAO forum post, but I feel like
Mm.
as we move into the DAO hour here, there is an opportunity for some BD or like um, you guys are part of so many other Web3 communities. So I bet there's a half dozen partners that Dan and I and the Pixelcraft team haven't thought about or aren't already talking to, that I bet the DAO would be able to
Yeah.
introduce and identify. So that door's always open too, and appreciate, it's exciting to see something we can all contribute to and build together, and that's what the chain really offers everybody. So it's a new day.
Yeah. I got this ongoing list of on my to-do list is called ongoing chain stuff, and it's just like a growing list of different partners that I want to reach out to or have reached out to, and just following up on that. Like Zbot was working on Revoked Cash this morning to get them listed over here. Working on like getting listed on DeFi Llama, Rollup.wtf, just like things as a chain where you need to be. So a lot of that kind of stuff, and then partners. Uh, we have world class developer infra over here. That's one of the reasons we went with Alchemy, because 70% of developers in Web3 use them. So it's actually pretty easy for them to come over here. We got webhooks, we got the different APIs that they can use. So it's we're set up well. I'm looking at yeah. I went full saddle mode on the launch the other night. That is what peak mail performance looks like. I agree. Yeah, the Alchemy webhooks are working. We're actually using them already for when you create a Geist ID and updating our backend with that. Yeah, webhooks are working, and yeah, definitely go and use them. Shall we go into the DAO call then? I see the GIF.